States. Gunshots were fired at a Donald Trump rally which took place in Pennsylvania. The U.S. Secret Service killed the shooter. Former U.S. President Donald Trump was injured in the incident. A bullet pierced Donald Trump's right ear. Trump was escorted off the rally by the Secret Service agents. The FBI will be probing the case along with the U.S. Secret Service.
Take a look at what happened.
Lenka White, journalist joining me from New York at the moment. Lenka, if you were to recall the security at large that we've seen from the agencies over the last couple of decades, would you say that this is perhaps the biggest security breach at such a rally that we've seen?
Definitely, it's one of the biggest security mistakes they have done, because this has not happened for a long time. Of course, we know the examples of Robert Kennedy, whose father and uncle were both assassinated, and he has been requesting actually stronger security too, and he was denied. But ever since, nothing like that happened. And, you know, if Trump, as you saw from the video, if Trump wouldn't move his head and went down quickly enough, he could be dead by now. And this was probably also the goal, right? It was supposed to go through his head. So definitely it's a huge security mistake. And for example, Elon Musk has called that the chief of the security should resign and the people should be fired.
Okay, big questions being asked over there as Lenka points out. Lenka, also could you tell us what is it that's exactly happening on the ground right now? What do your sources tell you as far as a response to this particular incident is concerned? What is it that the security forces are looking at right now?
So, of course, at the rally, Trump's rallies, I have been to them, there's a huge amount of people. There were about 50,000 people in one spot. You can imagine it was very difficult, according to sources, it was very difficult to actually evacuate everyone, on one road, 50,000 people. And everyone was in panic. Everyone was shocked about what happened. And Trump was luckily safely and immediately taken into his SUV, which he was driven to the medical hospital. And from that until now, the security services are working on it. As you mentioned, FBI has taken over the case. They are investigating. Earlier, President Biden said that it's too early to call it an assassination attempt. But of course, everything is pointed in that direction. We still have to wait. Also, the President Trump, the former President Trump, he said about an hour ago that they have not yet gotten any concrete information about the shooter.
That's right. As Lenka points out, an FBI statement has been issued on the gun attack that's taken place on Donald Trump. The FBI, U.S. Secret Service will be probing the Donald Trump attack. In its statement, the FBI has stated that special agents responded immediately to the incident. It also says that crisis response team members were alerted and anyone with information about the attack may approach the United States federal agencies. Lenka, coming back to you, we just put out that statement that's been issued by the FBI, but could this be a complicated investigation that we could look at, because two of the biggest agencies are to collaborate and then look into this incident?
Of course, it can be very tricky. All U.S. analysts and commentators are trying to guess who is behind it, whether it was so-called lone wolf incident, isolated one, whether it was all planned. We don't know how big stakes are actually in this action. So I think it will all come from this, like who is behind it will also probably try, if it's enough big person, to influence this investigation. However, I personally believe that former President Donald Trump will make sure that everything will come onto surface. As you know, he has been very vocal. Every time someone is against him, he always points fingers against that person. So I believe he will do it even in this case.
However, Lenka, there's no finger pointed that has begun yet, right? In the statement that we've seen from Donald Trump, there's no finger pointing that started as yet. In fact, he's thanked the security agencies for taking care of him and ensuring that adequate attention is given to him, and there is a response that is extended as well. The right kind of response is put out also by the security agency. So no finger pointing as yet, right?
I would probably mention J.D. Vance, U.S. Senator. He is one of Trump's top picks for vice president. He got to the final round, as we could call it. He posted on his X profile about, again, an hour ago, hour and a half, that this was definitely not an isolated incident. And he actually pointed a finger against President Biden's campaign. And he said that if the Biden's campaign wouldn't be calling Trump fascist and dictator, then this wouldn't happen.
I see. How do you, Lenka, since you're there in the United States, how do you see the election narrative now changing because of this incident?
You probably remember when former President Trump, he was in the prison and his mugshot was taken, and it got printed all over the T-shirts, the mugs. People were buying, especially Trump supporters, of course, were buying in large quantities such items, and Trump was actually able to cash on it huge amount of dollars. It was in hundreds of thousands. I personally believe he will, first of all, be able to turn this into his advantage. He can be now portrayed as sort of a martyr, someone who, everyone is against. If you probably saw the video, you saw how he immediately stand up and he shouted, "Fight, fight, fight." So this was also seen as a very brave moment for him. So I personally think it will definitely get his supporters more excited and more supportive of him and his actions, and that's what he needs. On the other hand, of course, the Biden supporters, I don't think they will, get sort of transferred to Trump based on this. I don't think so, but I definitely believe that the existing voters for Trump will get even more emotional and supportive of him.
We've in fact got those visuals playing out, Lenka, the moment that you're talking about of his clenched fist despite him being surrounded by the security forces. We have that visual playing out on our screens right now. As far as his support base is concerned, does this further then become a shot in the arm for the supporters? He was anyway being deemed as the front runner in the elections. Does this then further give his supporters more confidence and consolidate his position in the elections now?
I personally believe that after this incident, yes, I have seen many American commentators saying he's now the president. That's it, he's the president. I think that we still have to wait. We cannot get complacent jumping into conclusions. We still don't know who is going to be the front runner for the Democratic Party. There are now, of course, speculations that Biden could be replaced. He still wants to run, but the main donors and the main political Democratic figures would prefer someone else. So it still very much depends who will end up on the Democratic side. We still have 4 months ahead. This is a strong event, but we still have a lot of time to go, and a lot of things could happen. Trump is supposed to announce his VP. He was supposed to announce it within today or tomorrow or after tomorrow, within about 3 days. That will be also a big deal. So I think he got closer, but still quite some time left to jump to a conclusion.